What did I think about Ralph Sampson saying that Julius Erving should be the NBA logo? Said he was great, he changed the culture, and he should be the logo. What did I think? I wouldn't have no problem with as much as I got much respect for Jerry West. I never had no problem with Julius Erving. You know, Ralph Sampson said something that is something that has never been considered. They never have done anything by Julius Erving. And a lot of people don't realize how important he was to the NBA. Everybody gives it to Magic and Bird and to Jordan. And everybody has their impact. But they never mention Dr. J. They never do. It wasn't for him. The ABA was so strong and so thriving. And I understand the player hating they did. Remember, this cat went against the grain. He did something groundbreaking. He was a rebel. You know, when people talk about Cat's rebellion or making a statement, they don't mention him near enough because he flourished in the ABA. They played his style. He wore his afro. That was a black man making a statement, but he did it with class and dignity. He wasn't trashy, and but he went to the other league. He made a statement. People marvel at his creativity, but it was his aura. But when you look at what he did, that was groundbreaking. He brought two leagues into one. He made the powers that be have to stand and beg him. Because initially he turned them down, but he had to make the powers that be stand and beg him to come over and give some of what he was doing. That slam dunk contest with him and David Thompson predated Jordan and Dominique by 12 years. Let that sink in. And it was less fanfare. And he had an iconic jump from the free throw line. He did all that. He had predated all of that. He was a standard. See, when you talk about people who left iconic, was an MVP in two different leagues, all-star in two different leagues, a champion in two different leagues, he left a mark. He made a movie. He was crossover. And yet he didn't really get all his crossover. Because I can make the case that Dr. J, he had white fans and was popular. I'd still say he was bigger in Black World, despite how big he was. And he was dignified. But the powers that be never quite, because Stern and them white, Larry Bryan and David Stern were going to give no black man that kind of juice. He, had his Chuck Taylor Converse that he was known. They weren't going to do that. The players did, though. The was the people's, the folks had respect for him. They weren't going to give him that. He got Grover Washington Jr., Let It Flow, got a theme song too. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I Believe I Can Fly. Yeah. All that. He did all that. And that